I forgot to readjust it since we didn't have Joe anymore.
Nice.
Of course I did. Well, I couldn't have done that off stream anyway because I had the stuff blocking the way.
It's called studio mode.
Using normal OBS, not OBS Studio.
There's still studio mode.
There's still studio mode.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can edit something without actually showing it.
Oh. Anyway, so we're coming back in. While I edit this, we're back in.
Yeah.
So, when we last left off, our intrepid team discovered that doppelgangers had replaced them.
Yep.
And apparently the doppelgangers had murdered a bunch of people and stolen a crown. And pissed off an entire city in the process. Using their images.
Yep.
Archimedes.
I'm so glad I didn't come clean with them. I thought about coming clean with them and dropping the disguise and being like, okay, so here's the thing. I'm so glad I didn't.
Yo, that actually was a good idea. Turns out.
Archimedes.
Yes.
Is this proof enough?
It'll probably help you out a lot for your case.
Do you like being called Archimedes, or is there a name you prefer?
It is a fine name. I am a magically constructed bird. I don't really have, a lot of wants other than occasional cracker.
I see. Well, please call the guard to come pick up the prisoners. And this will seem a strange request, but could you have the dead body delivered and be prepared for the tribunal as well?
Oh, it is quite understandable. And Miser is already getting to work on that. Miser. Oh, sorry.
Do we need guards to come search the records of this inn, or should we do it?
Well, perhaps
I think we should search the inn in general.
You can
Well, we're gonna do that.
You can search the inn, and you will be actually able to find the 3 men that you... Well, the one that you killed the other 2, dead, down in, like, a storage section.
Yeah, I figure. How long dead?
Probably a couple of days at most. No, probably a couple days. Probably... Like, maybe... We'll actually say it's been a little longer because you've been in town. So maybe, like, a day or 2 after the robbery. So right before you guys got in town.
Okay. So basically, we'll also have those bodies transported and put on.
You will find no sign of the crown here or any other kind of thing. So you could search this place top to bottom.
I figured they hid it somewhere, but we're just trying to prove our innocence right now. If they want to hire us to find the crown, that's something else they can do.
Exactly. Like, if we found the crown, we might hide it again. Our moral compass is gone.
I wouldn't. I would hand it over.
I said
after studying it.
Exactly.
Let me just study this for... Okay, you can have it now. Alright, so... everything will be collected, and a couple more days will go by, and then it will be time for the trial.
In the meantime, I'm gonna find, what's-his-face? I have his name written down.
Megrel?
Megrel. Yeah, Megrel. And just kind of see what I can
do. You will actually not be able to find Megrel. It seems every time you're getting close to discovering where he's at, you're like a step behind him.
Interesting.
And you actually could try for an entire day. And you're like trailing where he's been and stuff. And like, oh, he was going to go over here. Oh, I thought he was over there. And he seems like he's doing a lot of things in town. But for whatever reason, you were unable to catch up with him.
Okay. Suspicious.
Right.
So.
Well, worst case, I beat him up and take my money back.
Yes. Was it yours and Karn's?
Yeah.
Yep. Both of them.
Alright, so the trial will come, and you will be then escorted to a kind of another building up in the upper area. In the
One other thing I do in the meantime, I study the symbol on my arm.
Okay. Yep. In an area basically called the area called Highwind, and there's this kind of like a towering building that is nearly as tall as the palace itself, that seems to represent the court itself. It has like a number of facilities down below, and up top it's got this kind of open-aired courtroom, where there's this, it's almost like it's kind of got this back arena seating behind everyone where the crowds kind of go to, and then down below in the center area, there's these kind of raised daises sort of facing at you from like, you can like look to the left, to the right, and forward. The three judges kind of judging down upon you in the center. Of course, you have like what you best bet is counsel to one direction, kind of behind you, and the other, you're guessing, is those that are prosecuting you. In your council area, the only person that is there is, for a brief couple of minutes, talking to some of the officials, is Miser, and then he leaves his bird there. There's like a team of like three men.
Our bird is the lawyer.
I give him
Our lawyer
clap.
is the bird.
There's like three men in the other area, and you can see there's like a number of guards and stuff. The trial itself will begin, and the first thing they will do is sort of the preceding case will kind of describe what will happen. They'll set up the situation. They'll present what they discovered originally. They will present you. They will present a couple of guards that will point out as you were the people that did it, things like that. They'll go through a general evidence gathering, or what evidence they originally had, and present it. Seemingly not really talking about anything you presented in a way, but they will seemingly include little bits of it. They will things like, the broken wand. That like, they themselves could not break the magic, so they brought a device to break it into there, A guard that was watching you will protest to you that you can change your appearance. So mentioning the footprints that changed appearance.
Yeah, that's the one thing, is like, because I knew the changing thing didn't actually mean anything, because I can actually cast Alter Self.
Yeah.
It's a concentration, though, and he can't do it on all of us, I would bring up.
Yeah, but we only found one set of changing footprints.
Yeah. So after everything is kind of said, what kind of case are you presenting to prove yourself innocent of this crime?
Well, we have the dead body of a doppelganger in an inn that we apparently stayed at, which we have a note saying that we were like meeting there. The dead bodies of the innkeepers that are old enough to be that basically have been dead only since the time of the thing, showing a switch of identity. Did we find records that they had actually like stayed there for a week?
You could have found that there was evidence that someone of your description of your folks' description was staying in that inn for a number of weeks before the crown was stolen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so we have that, and then we have proof that we were a couple weeks ago on a boat with the captain.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if the messages I sent out either brought messages back or any of them showed up, but we have that.
The priest manages to show up. The man from the boat showed up, and you did get like, the bandit lord's wife shows up. The three of them do show up and like tell them of your tales.
Yeah. So we have character witnesses.
They
we have
apparently
some
got some magical help from your lawyer's employer.
To get here nice and speedy.
Like, there is some like banter that there's some they act a little bit as character witnesses. They act as like, here's our timeline. Now, granted, there is like discussions of like, you could have magically done something to do this, though there is some like, there is some argument from your lawyer that perhaps you're not powerfully enough magical to use lots of teleportation and stuff too.
I actually present my spellbook as proof. Of what I can cast.
Yeah. Which helps. The doppelgangers end up being an interesting proof, though it's like, we cannot prove that these were the ones that actually did it. though you'd have proven that a cadre of doppelgangers did kill and replace some of our citizens, and they were at the inn that you were theoretically staying at. There's evidence at the place that you pointed out, you know, of, like, torn clothing and stuff. It's not a cut and dry for the doppelgangers, but it is a big nail.
I asked them to bring the body out.
They'll definitely be like, that's a doppelganger, all right, yeah.
I walk up to it and cast Speak with Dead from my mask.
Oh, good call. All right.
Nice.
You give me abilities, I will use them.
Yeah. Okay.
Be fair. Even the dead have agendas.
So it's like, it kind of like the creature's like vaguely lifeless eyes like roll back out of its head as it kind of like clicks to life with his kind of like it's probably like body got really beat up by Karn, but it kind of like clicks back to life and like so tells him a corpse. If the corpse was okay, you can ask it 5 questions.
Yep.
Question is, does it answer them truthfully?
Brief, cryptic, and repetitive. And it's no compulsion to offer truth. If it recognizes you as hostile or an enemy.
I turn to Wyrm and be like, make me look like one of the doppelgangers. Or you look like a doppelganger. Either one.
I think I'm gonna have to, because if I'm not mistaken, alter self is alter self.
But
right.
only Tim has to ask the questions, though.
Yeah.
Can I hide behind him and ask?
I mean, I don't think you can magically deceive the corpse that you reanimated yourself.
Well, the mask reanimated
That's
it.
true. Well, you can see how it answers questions, I could say.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the best we can do is use it as kind of just like, it's probably going to lie, it's probably going to have an agenda, but we can still try. I don't know. It's just, it's kind of like, eh.
Damn, I should have used it on one of the guards' bodies, but oh well.
Yeah.
So I pretty much just go through the whole thing of, are you doppelganger kind of thing, just like a couple confirming questions, you know, to see if it
will go along with certain questions. You're not sure when it will tell the truth or lie, but it would be like, yes.
Did you attack us?
Yes.
God, I just feel like if I ask the wrong question, it's gonna try to damn us.
Can we get a... Wait. Hold on 1 second. The priest.
Mm-hmm.
Does he know Zone of Truth?
Probably, but it's not actually alive to be affected by this.
Ah.
You're like getting an echo of its soul and its corpse to like speak with it. It's like an imprint of this creature, as like he's brought it back to the surface through this body.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Were we in the city, like, were we ourselves not doppelgangers in the city at the time of the theft?
I do not know.
Was the crown brought to the inn after the theft?
The crown we saw.
That's my 5.
I think that's enough, though, that last one.
Yeah, that I was just trying to like keep it off topic enough to where he wouldn't be like,
yeah,
fuck
the crown,
you guys.
the crown we saw, and I'll probably push the point. See, this is, they saw the crown. Something happened with it here.
Okay. You present a very good case, and you manage to find some excellent evidence that supports, well, you not being the key. The tribunal will kind of eventually move out into a deliberation room. They'll talk among, they'll like, you'll kind of stand around for a couple of hours before eventually returning.
Which is mind-blowing to me, because we have, like, a rock-solid case that it wasn't us.
No,
with all
I mean,
of
like,
the witnesses.
we have a pretty solid case, but there are still some shaky bits.
I mean, if they're about to say guilty, I'll be like, cast Zone of Truth on us, and we'll give direct answers.
Oh, you have Zone.
The priest does.
Oh, right, yeah.
Tantus said it.
The one in the center will kind of then speak. We've discussed this in depth. While at first this case seemed cut and dry, as the children would say, that these criminals were the ones behind this heinous act, the more that is seen, the more it is unsuspecting. There seems to be holes in what is going on. A cadre of doppelgangers who, through magic we know, were involved in this crime. Now, did this mean these three murdered them in hide their crimes or otherwise? Or were these three imitated by these heinous creatures? Both are options. Our associates here cannot quite account for the time they would have been at doing the crime. But if they were properly traveling the road, which we can see by the timeline, they more than likely would not have been here. And we can see
I do not have teleportation.
We can see that their actions have been ones of not malice, but help to most of those that they encounter. Granted, they seem to be of the fare that would like a reward for their actions, but there are many like this, and still they make a choice to attempt things rather than to ignore it, even if it's a small reward. We cannot judge them innocent of this crime, but we cannot judge them guilty either. So we judge this. There is not enough to convict these men, not enough to blame them for this crime. They are to be freed from our custody until either more solid evidence can be gathered against them or for them in the future.
I raise my arm.
Yes?
Your Grace, would it not help our case if we were to be placed in a zone of truth giving direct answers, confirmed by your court wizard that we are in fact under the spell?
The issue with that is that zone of truth. There's no way of telling if someone has been actually affected by the zone of truth.
Yeah, there unfortunately isn't. It's a save, yeah. Unfortunately,
well,
yeah.
With the dude being able to scan and be like, "Oh, your auras aren't the same as them," I assume that he would be able to tell if we were under the magic. He wasn't
saying a lot. He offered nothing to this entire case. He let you guys do it on his own. Whatever tricks he has as a very powerful spellcaster, he's hiding a lot from the people around him.
Bastard.
Yeah.
See, and here's the thing too: is like detect magic. Oh, but I have the alter magic aura spell.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to really make a solid case out of that right now.
Yeah.
You are free to go and either stay in the city or leave. We will not keep you. We will not retain you here. We will not keep you under arrest. But know this. Until the crown is returned, or evidence of the contrary truly proves your worth, you are still to be distrusted in this city. By at least the authorities. So know that. They will remember you. So behave while you are here. Or leave us. Regardless, you are at least free from this court.
By the way, the person who casts it knows whether it succeeds or fails.
Oh, do they?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Okay. But, anyway.
Still.
They weren't taking the joke.
Bring one of your clerics. Well, I'll fail on purpose.
Hey, you can fail on purpose, so.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Alright.
It's an actual lie detector test.
It is. Anyway, I mean, they, as some of the guards said, apparently there was a rumor that maybe you could have been mind-controlled or something, too, you know?
Yeah.
Especially after the way you acted when they first captured you. They're not even diving into that, and they don't want to right now, so they're just like, you guys can
Because
go.
ultimately, if we were mind-controlled, we have we are innocent, you know?
They don't want to get into that moral quandary right now of magical mind control. Those are always difficult cases, and they would rather not. And they find no fault currently, so you're at least free.
Okay. Afterwards, though, I will go over
There's
to
actually a lot of booing from the crowd now. They kind of wanted your blood kind of thing, the crowd that's there. There is a number of guards which kind of like look very menacingly towards you. A few of them that'll be like, you know, will be like, I knew you guys weren't really the ones. Doppelgangers. Ugh. You must have some enemies for them to be like doppelganging you.
Yes, that is something we have
No
not
idea.
yet. Well, even so, there's kind of this point where they were here for a while. What enemies did we make? Who stole the crown? This is still something we need to figure out. And this is I'm going to talk to what's-his-face afterwards, the mage.
Okay. Miser will definitely contact you a little later on. So, you know, we've resolved the main thing for this episode, so to say. You have now, of course, been freed of all charges. You are a free people to explore the city as you wish. And Miser will meet with you. He's going to meet at whatever... You'll probably head back to the Shark's Bosom, you know. It's the kind of place you got... I mean, it's where you were staying and had some pretty good alcohol. And it is your kind of... It is really you guys' kind of place, anyway. He'll definitely show up one night when you're in your room and kind of go to you. He'll go to you directly, WolfBurn. And he'll kind of just be almost there, sitting in the room, kind of sitting in the chair and be like, you folks just... You don't choose the best places, but I can understand. I can enjoy the smell of it all.
We've worked with a couple of dock workers. This place makes some sense.
Understandable. Well...
Sorry. Sailors.
Good
Did we
job.
have our sipples removed?
He hasn't done anything as
Not
of
yet.
yet.
That's what I thought. Okay, I say, so about these.
Oh,
I'm guessing there's still something
about
attached to
those.
that.
Oh. I'm afraid, though, I've found some dire information that you can help me with.
Thought so.
Yep. Turns out, though, that it might be able to help you, too. Why? Why would doppelgangers imitate you? Why, indeed? Unless it's a group that has some friends, or I should say, enemies of yours.
Yep. I
Seems
figured
like-
that as well.
Seems like you've done a lot. And there's a couple of strange incidents which have occurred recently. There's been some disappearances in the docks. Also, there was...
More zombies.
Also,
Or disappearances.
turns out, there was a breakout of Black Isle. Really strange. Number of prisoners just disappeared. Straight from there. No one knows how. The magic was prevented, things like that. How would they get out?
was the druid on the ship, or one of the ones who broke out?
Can't say for sure. I'll leave that to, well, your imagination.
Helena? Was that the one?
The
Yes.
one with the broken hands and the broken jaw.
Who really hated you guys. Yeah. Maybe?
Anyway.
But what's really important now is that you can help me recover the crown. Because those people that, well,
recovering the crown is the best way to prove our innocence.
and the people that have a thing out for you, at least had doppelgangers look like you, well, I found out a little about them. And I know where they're at. So, why don't you, gather your friends and go take care of business for me.
I say, will do, and I flip him the bird, and I go over into Crrraw's room.
And we'll end right there.
Tantus, how much swag do we have? Like, gold's worth of stuff?
You could probably put together your swag that you have carried on you, enough to pay for that mask if you wanted to.
I would go do that instantly.
You probably have an actual portion of treasure that you don't have with you that is with, Megara.
Yep, I know.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, yeah, because the treasure, he took the treasure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That wasn't actually all for him.
Nope. But, yep, you can commission the mask then.
Which is why definitely finding him is a thing, because if he tried to just take our treasure and run, he's paying. One way or another.
So we're setting up for next week, which is this second part of the Fall of the Crown series of one-shots. Now that we've proven themselves innocent, they're now commissioned, well, forcefully commissioned, to the next part of this adventure to actually recovering the crown. So let's see how our team goes next week. So, though he had to leave early, we of course had Joe with us, who would have promoted pretty much all my stuff, and playtesting his game, maybe streaming it at some point in time that he's designing. If anybody out there is interested in playtesting a game that someone's designing, let me know. I've been working with him with it. I worked on it years ago, and we're trying to improve it again. We'll probably eventually stream it, but we probably want to hit through a couple of games of just playtesting it offline first, you know. So expect it to, at some point, be streamed once we work out a few of the bugs. And then how about you two? How about we go to Wyrm?
I am Diamond Wyrm, twitch.tv/DiamondWorm, @DiamondWorm on Twitter. You can find me a couple days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, in different places, mostly on Twitch. And you can catch the three of us plus two others on Wednesday for the campaign I run on my channel. And while you're there, if you're going to check things out, give me a follow and a subscription. My emotes are done, as you can kind of see. I have the one people will be getting is that one. It's posted.
Warm think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Cool. Tiv.
Mondays I'm here. Wednesdays I'm over on Worm's channel, as he said. And yeah, I just occasionally randomly stream sometimes. I don't have anything set. Whenever Scott's doing Dark Souls, I usually help him out, or I've been feeling like invading him. But I've been pushing that one down. I've been keeping that one down.
Kind of hard to directly invade someone, though.
Not if he is the only one who's above your level. And you have the Dark Souls connectivity mod, so you can guarantee he's one of the people you'll possibly invade.
Yes.
Is that why you wanted to get that mod?
No, it's so we could help him. I'm
Okay.
gonna wait at least until after the deaths to poke at him.
That's fair.
And of course,
in White Town, you're a monster.
Of course, I am Tantus Dracovin. You can find me here every day, pretty much, doing streaming. You might want to catch. I've started a new every morning an hour. I'm trying to do that for streaming. Different type of games every day of the week. Similar types of games on those days. That's my newest thing. So I'll be back tomorrow for that for platformers. Platformer Tuesday and Gathering the Roll, both tomorrow. Of course, you can always check out my YouTube channel. Stuff's going to be starting to be uploaded more regularly again after my week of being sick. So expect a lot of stuff there, including my scripted content. You can always check me out on Twitter or Discord for all the information. And I've got the Patreon, and I can also get subscriptions here. So there's lots of ways to support all of us for our various activities that we do. And definitely, it's going to be good for Wednesday.
And I've just decided to not bother with YouTube until after Christmas because I am so freaking busy right now.
That's an acceptable thing. So, all right, we'll be back next week for the second part of our sort of 4-part one-shot series linked together all about this crown and the adventures related to it. So, we'll be back for, that adventure then. So, thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.